Mark, have you been anywhere exciting lately?
Yeah, I just got back from a trip to New Zealand.
Wow, New Zealand. That's on my bucket list. What did you go there?
I spent most of my time exploring the South Island. I went hiking in Fiordland National Park. Visited Queenstown and did a road trip along the west coast.
That sounds incredible. What was the best part of your trip?
It's hard to choose, but I think hiking. The Milford Track was the highlight. The scenery was just stunning. Waterfalls, rainforests, and mountain views.
That must have been breathtaking. Did you try any local foods?
Yes, I tried a lot of local dishes. The lamb in New Zealand is fantastic, and I also enjoyed their seafood, especially green lip mussels. Oh, and I loved the pavlova for dessert.
Yum! How was the culture there?
The people were very friendly and laid back. It's a very outdoorsy culture, so you see a lot of people hiking, biking, and just enjoying nature. The Maori culture is also very interesting, and I learned a lot about it during my visit.
Did you face any challenges during your trip?
Not many, but driving on the left side of the road took some getting used to. Also, the weather can be unpredictable, so I had to be prepared for rain even on sunny days.
Any tips for someone planning a trip to New Zealand?
Definitely rent a car or a campervan if you can. It's the best way to see the country. Also, pack layers and waterproof clothing. And make sure to spend time both on the North and South Islands. They each have their own unique attractions.
Great advice. I can't wait to plan a trip there. Thanks for sharing, Mark.
No problem, Emma. Let me know if you need any more tips or recommendations when you start planning.
Traveling Dialogue 2.
Hey, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently?
Yeah, actually, I just got back from a trip to Japan.
That sounds amazing. What cities did you visit?
I spent a few days in Tokyo, then went to Kyoto, and finally, Osaka.
Nice. What did you enjoy the most?
It's hard to pick just one thing, but I loved the food. Sushi in Tokyo was incredible, and I had the best ramen in Osaka. Also, visiting the temples in Kyoto was really peaceful.
I bet. Did you experience any cultural differences that stood out to you?
Definitely, the level of politeness and cleanliness was impressive. Plus, the public transportation is super efficient.
Did you learn any Japanese before going?
I learned some basic phrases, which helped a lot. The locals were really appreciative when I tried to speak Japanese, even if it wasn't perfect.
That's awesome. Any travel tips for someone planning to visit Japan?
I'd recommend getting a junior pass if you're planning to travel between cities. Also, try to go during cherry blossom season, it's beautiful. And don't forget to take off your shoes when entering someone's home or certain traditional places.
Great advice. Japan is definitely on my travel list. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Let me know if you need any more tips when you start planning your trip.
Traveling Dialogue 3.
Hey Sarah, have you gone on any trips recently?
Yes, I just returned from a trip to Italy.
That sounds fantastic. Where did you go in Italy?
I visited Rome, Florence, and Venice. Each city was so unique and beautiful.
I can imagine. What was the highlight of your trip?
Visiting the Colosseum in Rome was incredible. The history there is just overwhelming. I also loved the art in Florence, especially seeing Michelangelo's David.
That must have been amazing. How was Venice?
Venice was magical. Riding a gondola through the canals was a dream come true. The whole city feels like a different world.
Did you try any local foods?
Oh yes, the food was delicious. I had the best pasta and pizza in Rome. In Florence, I tried a Florentine steak, and in Venice, I had some amazing seafood.
Sounds delicious. Did you encounter any challenges while traveling?
Not too many, but navigating Venice's narrow streets and canals without getting lost was a bit tricky. Also, communicating in Italian was a fun challenge, but most people spoke English and were very helpful.
Any tips for someone planning to visit Italy?
Definitely book tickets to popular attractions in advance to skip the long lines. Also, try to learn a few basic Italian phrases, it goes a long way. And don't forget to take some time to just wander and explore. You never know what hidden gems you'll find.
Those are great tips. Thanks, Sarah. Italy sounds like a must visit.
Absolutely. If you ever plan a trip, let me know. I'd be happy to share more details.
Will do. Thanks for sharing your experience.